I'm your host this evening, Smokey Dan, and tonight we are going to be comparing one of the greatest icons of the cigar world. This is the Cuban, an authentic Cuban Montecristo No. 2. It is 6.1 by 53, and names don't come much bigger than the Montecristo No. 2. Now, I have to say, that said, I've smoked quite a few of these in the past, and some of them have had some serious, like 9-10 years, serious aging on them. And I gotta be honest, for the most part, I've been underwhelmed by the cigar. Don't know why. This one does not have any aging on it, at least any more than what came in from the factory. It's a fresh one. And so is what we're comparing it to today, the Untitled version. This is the Montecristo's newest. It's the Montecristo Monte. It's the Montecristo Monte No. 2. It's also a torpedo. It is also 6.1 inches long, 54-inch box pressed, a very square box pressed ring gauge, or square gauge, if you will. The Cuban, the presentation, it's pretty standard fare, light chocolate wrapper with it's a little bit bumpy, a little bit wrinkly. It smells nice. And as far as the Dominican, which this is, it's an absolutely stunning presentation. It is, I mean, you can just see like even the little veins and the big veins. It's very oily, very rich looking wrapper, very, very smooth. The fillers in this are Dominican. It has a double binder. One of the binders is Dominican, the other is a Nicaraguan Corojo. The wrapper is an Ecuadorian Sumatra. So let's see how they stack up. Incidentally, the Monte was given a pretty high rating, a 92, by Cigar Insider. So I am curious to see how this is going to stack up. And I've done a couple of these War of the Worlds where, you know, from the outset I kind of have the idea that the Cuban's going to come out on top. Not at all with this case. Not at all.
Wow. Woo.
Toasty. A lot of very sharp, woodsy and nutty notes on this thing. The delivery's creamy, although I'm not getting any actual cream in the flavor profile. I'm gonna say this one so far is medium to full body. So, This is so much more cedar than I remember off of this cigar. Now let's light up the one from the DR. My lighter lasts that long. I'm getting chocolate on this, some heavier nuts. It's the nutty flavor in this isn't quite as dominant as it is in the Cuban, but the nut flavor is darker. And it feels like I'm getting some almost some like raw unfinished leather on the back palate that's coming through in the finish. I'm getting a lot of leather in the retrohale too. It's also, like the Cuban, medium to full-bodied. And just the tiniest bit of pepper. It's not spicy. It's not harsh. Just yummy. Woodsy and nutty here. I can't believe I'm saying this. And I know I just started both of these up, but I gotta say, the Dominican's more complex than the Cuban. And I'm starting to get that a teeny bit of cream also on the retrohale. So, you know, not only is the delivery creamy, now I'm starting to get that flavor, just a touch. In any case, I got quite a bit left to smoke on both of these guys. Ooh. So we'll be back in a couple of seconds on YouTube screen with the verdict. And we're back to decide who will be the winner in this battle of the Montecristos. They are both excellent cigars, right off the bat. But we're going to start off with the Cuban. Body-wise, it's died down just a smidge. It's about a third of the way in. It's now a medium-bodied cigar. The cream notes have really picked up on this. I'm getting a little bit of coffee as well. A little bit of pepper and woodsiness coming in the back and bottom palate, but it's very smooth. It's very, very easy to smoke, slightly loose draw, that's okay, and elegant, but almost to a fault. As delicious as it is, I find that the flavors are just a little bit muted. But it's still a beautiful cigar. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. You know, it doesn't quite live up to the mystique for me, but I think this comes closer to it than any of the other Cuban Montecristos I've smoked in the past. I've had to touch it up once. I may have to touch it up again, but you know, not a big deal. Ash, obviously it fell, but typical ugly Cuban gray ash. And that leaves us with the Dominican. Chocolatey, coffee, a little bit of leather coming in on the finish. It's still medium to full bodied. The draw is a teeny bit tougher than the Cuban, but it's not a tough draw. It's just not quite as loose. Burn's been excellent. Ash is absolutely gorgeous. I got this tiny little black stripe in the midst of a beautiful silver block. And compared to the Cuban, this comes across as a much more dynamic cigar. There's a lot more pizzazz to it, and it's much more involving to smoke. The pepper notes and the chocolate and the coffee, they blend so well with that leather. Actually, and on the lingering finish, there's even a little bit of cream. This one's the winner for me. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Like I say, neither one's a bad cigar by any stretch, but this one is just 10 out of 10. It is wonderful. Now, I paid about, I forget, either $9 or $10 for this stick, and it's definitely worth picking up. I think that you'll find it's fairly readily available, since I think it's Blood and Montecristo is really trying to push. I can see why Cigar Insider gave it a 92. Just a fantastic stick. And it held its ash a little bit better than the Cuban, but whatever. You know, if you're not living stateside, you won't go wrong either way. If you're living stateside, you know what? It's a good cigar, but pick one of these up, you'll be happy. In any case, if this is your first time on the channel, hit the subscribe button. Become part of the Smoking Den crew. We want you on our team. Feel free to leave a comment, hit the like button, and whatever you're smoking, keep smoking it. See you around for the next review.